Hey, what's up, everybody? Dan
Matt Randall
is the gang, is the names, and Stransky and Company is the game.
That's it.
We're here today to talk real estate with you yet again, bringing on 2024. Last year we talked about, or last week.
Flew by.
Yeah, we've been doing it. It feels like forever, guys. No, last time we talked about buyers. Serious now. Last time we talked about buyers, now we're talking about sellers. Kind of giving some ideas of what we might or we think might happen in 2024 and what it's going to look like for sellers in general. So Matt, what do you got? What do you think is going to transpire in 2024 as far as if you're trying to sell your house versus last year?
Sure. Yeah. What can home sellers expect? Man, these are the toughest conversations I'm having in real estate right now. First, things are good. You know, I'll paint that picture. Sellers are still getting what I would call top dollar. But the tough conversation is in the expectations. Like we were talking, it's a great time to be a home buyer right now. Well, that's also sucks for the seller, right? So it's communicating that. What does that mean? Well, one, there's less buyers out there right now, right? A lot of these crazy scenarios that people are still anticipating and inspecting were from a year ago when home inventory was not only low, but you had clients that were qualifying for homes at 2% and 3% interest rates. There were home buyers everywhere, right? In that time, it was not uncommon to have 20 or 30 offers in on a home. At that time, it was not uncommon to have offers that went anywhere from $40,000 on a $200,000 house to $100,000, $150,000 on a $1 million house, right? Going over the asking price. The conversation is tough now because sellers still expect that. What you can expect in 2024 is great value. You will see modest appreciation. Areas I serve, I would anticipate 6 to 7%, right? Not 300. And what you're going to see as a seller is a different landscape. You're going to feel that there's less buyers out there. The way you're going to see that is there'll still be a lot of showings, but those showings are going to produce generally a smaller set of offers, right? Our average listing right now is probably getting 3 to 5 offers on it. We also have other properties that might sit for 30 days, right? If you look at home inventory right now, there are a lot of homes that are sitting out there 60, 90, even 100 days. So the real tough conversation right now with sellers is talking about pricing their home correctly. It's so important because if I'm off on the mark, one, the buyer, a lot of them won't even be qualified, right? So now I'm going to take a smaller subset of humans and bring it to your house, right? And then when that home is overpriced, because now they're so payment sensitive, right? Buyers really understand the market right now, but not being as competitive. They're going to start to negotiate with you, or the latter, they're not going to make an offer on your house and you're going to be one of these listings out there hating your realtor because your house hasn't sold in 100 days. So, anticipate that. One good thing that I'm really seeing now is that buying a house and selling a house at the same time has never been easier. What's been great about that is the softness, right? If it's not as competitive, that seller can sell their home and then realistically we're able to get them about 100 days to go shopping. It has not become a problem just yet in 2024 in getting those people into a home. So, I think it is a great time. The real question is, do you wait, right? Should I wait until the spring? Should I wait until the summer? Great question. I think for a seller, it's a little more, I don't want to say 50-50, but it feels that way. In that with sellers, if interest rates dip a little bit, there will be more buyers that come out. Will more buyers lead to higher offers? That's the question. I don't think so. Like I said, I think this year we're really going to see that modest appreciation of 6 to 7%. What you have now is likely the lowest amount of inventory, homes that are for sale. And what that should procure for the seller that chooses now versus the spring is less competition. Competition, if we see and generally do in the spring, we see more of an influx of homes, right? A lot of sellers feel this way that I'm going to wait till the spring. The problem is you're really waiting for more competition, right? You would rather have a home listed when there's 4 of them versus 40. right? So I do think now is probably the time. But 2024 we'll see, and I guess a year later we'll see if any of that checked out.
I'm trying to remember my question. Forgive me. When you have a buyer who wants to, remembered it, who wants to price the house higher than you think it should be or the market should be, how do you approach that?
Wow, there's the
I mean,
$1
a
million
seller,
question.
if you have a seller.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remembered most of the question.
You know, every agent's going to work differently. I guess my approach is first, truthfully, and it sounds cheesy, but is empathy. You know, I feel you. You know, I think really what the sellers are feeling now is they feel like they missed the boat. You know, oh man, you know, my buddy had 30 offers and it went 70 over, right? The conversation really, the key talking point is about creating activity at your house, right? We have this really well illustrated in one of our seller guides. But every 10% that you start to bump up the house being overpriced, you get less and less activity, right? Activity is just home buyers going through your home, right?
Showings, right?
Exactly, showing. So it's like that property that's overpriced, you're getting less people through it, right? Less people generally, and especially in this market right now, in most cases means no offers, right? Buyers, agents are smarter than, our buyers themselves are smarter than they've ever been, right? I mean, they understand that if something's overpriced, they're going to negotiate with you, right? They'll let you wait it out. I mean, we've had people, right, our buyers that say, yeah, let's give them another week to think about that offer.
The days on market are right there for everybody to see. And every day it's on the market, the less you're going to get. So if you're not priced appropriately, you're sitting out there 100 days, you're distressed.
Yep. And then the ladder, and then the conversation becomes around pulling comps, pulling data, really giving them the competitive market analysis. A lot of realtor people will say that when I sit down with my client with an iPad, you know, I shouldn't be doing that, right? The reason I choose to do that is now we can look at the clearest of pictures and really start to match your house up, right? A lot of the sellers, right, let's say, my house is worth $1 million and it's really worth 500. Well, let's look at it, right? Okay, yours doesn't have a steam room, and you start kind of working that way down, right? And then as an agent, I am going to serve my clients and my business as a consultant. I am not afraid to tell you you're wrong. And if I feel it in my heart, it comes from a lot of experience, right? I mean, I've been doing this 16, 17 years. I would do my client a disservice not to be honest with them, right? And then that conversation would just be based around, again, look, if we price this correctly, we're going to get the most amount of activity to it. I'm going to drive the most amount of people to it. And right now, I can't guarantee it, but likely what's going to happen is we're going to have multiple offers. Multiple offers just means you have multiple people submitting offers on it, trying to buy that house. That's what you want. That's the scenario that you want to create, because now that buyer, what do they really have? The feeling of losing it. Oh shit, I like this house. And then the money starts coming out. So pricing it appropriately, demonstrating that, and then walking them through our other clients' success of seeing it. Hey, this is look at this property, right? We did it here. Hey, look at this property. You know, we chose another route. This is what, our seller wanted. And at the end of the day, right? We'll listen to that, right? We had to drop it. We ran it for 60 days, nothing, no activity, no offers, right? So always trying to give them our experiences along with the data.
For sure.
Offers fall apart all the time, too. For a lot of different reasons, people get hot to trot. They had a pre-approval that they didn't talk with their lender about, and they didn't really think about what the tax is. Hey, this is going to be my payment. They wanted to win. They won, right? But now they're backing away before inspection happens. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have two other offers that lost. Yeah. You call those people back, and they're over the moon. Yeah. They're getting something they lost, instead of being forced to take the one lowball offer you got 110 days into the process, and then you're really behind the eight ball.
Yep. I've never seen a seller win when their house has been on the market more than 45 days now, right? Because
losing money.
It's price cut. It's price cut. in their heart of hearts, and it's their house, so cool. But in their mind, it's like, oh, I'm just double checking. I'm just double checking to make sure it wasn't worth this.
Not leaving money on the table. They don't want to leave money on the table. But you have to think about the psychology of it too, right? There's the marketplace. In a hot marketplace, like we said, it's not as hot as it was, but still inventory's low. The best ones go fast. Mm-hmm. And the best ones are really the ones that are priced the best.
Yep.
Because a house that's priced wrong isn't the best house.
Nope.
If the seller has their mark is so far off the mark that they're not going to sell it, it's not hot. It's got to be priced right.
Love it.
Is there a time that's the best time to list your house to get the most money? Is there, these two questions in one, is there a time to list your house to get the most money? And is there any weight to the argument of maybe putting it on the market for not like maybe even less to create more people coming to it, to get more competition, to create higher offers?
We talked about this.
I mean, did you talk about it?
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean, our buddy at our brokerage, right? He listed that house for $1.
In Pontiac, yeah.
A friggin' $1. I mean, dude,
why
not, right?
We've been saying that. I'm not trying to, like, he did it awesome, but we've been saying, man, why not just do that?
Make every house $1?
Oh, like, really? Because the market, it would level. I mean, people know what the value is.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it just creates...
Or
and in the
opposite,
opposite, they don't. Yeah. I mean,
Right,
that could
too.
be the seller advantage, both sides of that
Everybody
coin.
could, yeah.
But what would you do
if
you listed at $1? Then the realtor, they go to the realtor. Okay, well then they would force them to pull comps, and you would know the market value. You figure, well, everyone's going to be bidding. You'd have to go over. You'd end up with 30, 40 offers over.
Really, what you would find in that moment, in the clearest of forms, is what market value is.
Yeah,
clearest. So, gosh, in a couple years here, I'll move. Hopefully, I won't sell my house, but if I did, I'd love to do it. And and hey, for anyone out there that wants to try it, but no, there's ways too that you could write in there, right? Like seller has the right to reject all offers. Give them some protection in case it was the only offer, right, that got you the $1. It would still give you the right to exclude it. So yeah, I think. And back to our point, the closer you can put it to market value, or just even a smidgen under. If you're 250, let's go 248.5.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
they were standing there like, this whole Manhattan looks like it's about $14. And they're like, that sounds right.
Sure.
That's crazy.
Sure. And then what's going to happen? You're going to buy it for $14 billion.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
real
market value.
I'm going to buy it for $14 billion. I mean, I don't know if everyone else is.
Yeah,
because I have $14.1 billion right now, so I can just
there you go, just in liquid cash.
Exactly.
And I think your other question is there a right time? Gosh, like I wish I didn't, but the data will show, right? I mean, comps that are selling in the winter, right? And this is good for folks to understand. If an appraiser comes through your home today, they're going to look at a 90-day snapshot, okay? So they're going back 90 days, right? You, in the middle of winter, when inventory is low and you've got snow on your shitty roof and, your grading is frozen, right? There's some advantages there if you're picking that up, right? 90 days. So I'm taking the comps from, end of fall, right, into December, in like the 90-day cycle, it does not fall apart in January, February, and March. So you're really using the data of late fall to determine the value of early winter. Nothing has changed. What has changed, though, is there's no inventory. So usually you see either the market stabilize, right, or it'll trickle up a little bit, right? But I don't see, especially in the areas we serve, Oakland, Macomb, Wayne, there's no perfect time, truthfully. Does the spring bring more buyers? Absolutely. It also brings a lot more looky-loos.
More competition.
Anyone that is looking at a house in the middle of a Michigan winter, it wasn't that bad this year, but generally, right? They are as serious as all get out, man. I mean, these people are trucking through snow and grabbing kids.
It
And,
has as much to do with the holidays as the weather. You know, if they're out there during that busy time,
That's a big one.
they're serious.
I get that one a lot.
They're serious. A
Fishing
lot more looky-loos in the
after this
and a lot more
holiday, after that
competition.
holiday.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Yeah.
personal, it's what's best for you.
For sure. And I think that's probably the real answer, It's because usually when you're selling a home, it's something in life, I mean, me and my four, right? My dog, I mean, my homies, right? My fam, I mean, we're busting at the seams, man. My kid's ripping volley soccer shots off TVs. Like, shit, yeah, I need to buy a house, which would mean I need to sell mine. So, yeah, it's a life event, right?
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't practice in the living room.
I think he
Good
should.
luck with that.
Yeah, I think he should. And who cares about material stuff, man?
Yeah.
Let's play ball.
They make
You're
you
talking
go
to
to
the wrong
Walmart-
guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
What
for
is
sure.
a TV? But a distraction, maybe.
It's true.
But a
That's
goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just Google it. You
let's
put up
let's see if we can put it in the top right
Top
corner.
right corner of
put up a YouTube video of like a desktop of a goal.
He's
right
probably
there,
the
just
only
have
dad
him-
be like, great shot, son.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
care."
I mean,
That's
high
amazing.
fiving him. Man.
Oh, you
Yeah.
broke it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Just stuff.
So if I wanted to sell my house this year, if I let's say 30 day or in 30
Sure.
days or 2 months, like I'm done, I want to be out in 30 days, what would I have to do right now?
You want to be listing in 30 days.
I mean, let's
Start
do
the-
both. Let's say I want to be out in 30 days. Like, help me out. Am I going to be able to cut it, or do I need more time?
Good question.
And then we
Yeah.
can bounce it around.
So one, it goes back to life, right? I mean, what is the right timing? I think maybe the question you're asking is if I'm trying to sell my home quickly, what do I need to do? Well, the first thing you need to do when you and your wife, your significant other, your partner, your person, when you want to make a move, what I've found in my career is the last person they're going to call at that moment is a realtor. They're going to start their own research, right? They're going to get on Zillow. They're going to get on Trulia. Their neighbor sold their house for $250. They had Formica. They have granite. Now their house is worth $375, right? The real advantage and the
It's
power
funny 'cause it's true.
is having 30 days, right? Is having that amount of time, because first thing you do is call a realtor, right? That realtor should do a couple very important things for you if they're worth any licks, right? The first is to walk you through the value of your home, right? Not what Zillow, not what Trulia says, right? Zillow, the guy that owned the damn thing, he was off on his estimate by 40%. I mean, check it out, right? It's worthless, right? So when that realtor comes in, the first thing they're going to do is walk you through the value of the home. They're going to show the comps. They're going to show the data. I talked about it earlier. If we sit down together, we're literally going to go through every picture on the internet, really dialing in what house that is, right? Once you have the value, here's the second, maybe the first most important part, is you're going to get a net sheet. That net sheet is going to walk you through the cost of selling, right? The commissions, the tax stamps, the title transfers, the whole kit and caboodle, the mortgage payoff. And then that final number, if your realtor is worth anything, should be within $7,000, $8,000, right? So now as a homeowner, I'm empowered with two things. One, I know what my home is truly worth, right? Valuable. Secondly, now I know the cost of selling. I know what I'm going to put in my pocket. Most people are moving somewhere else. It gives you that number to take it to the purchase, right? And then that last part that we're going to talk about, at least for us, is as a sales team, what we're going to do for you, right? How do we sell this home? How do we get you top dollar, right? We're going to talk to you about the importance of a digital footprint, right? In that 30 days, declutter your house, right? I mean, I like talking about my frat house. Oh my gosh. It's going to take me all of 30 days to present that well, right? Mm-hmm. If you have to get a storage unit, right? Rent that. Get that stuff in there. In the Woodward corridor, folks, put all your stuff in your garage, right? Make sure they can walk around the perimeter of it. You're all good, right? And then once you do that, right, if you don't like that realtor, right, you don't like his strategy, you don't like his price, whatever, go find another one, right? Interview a couple. We do that. I could care less if you interview anyone else, right? I mean, you either like me or you don't, and there's no harm or no foul, right? But then that 30-day marker is going to show up pretty quick. What have you done? You have all the knowledge, all the power, you know how much money is going in your pocket. You've gotten your home ready. Now that realtor should be able to, like a light switch, turn this thing on, right? Paperwork done over the internet prior, done. Photos done, right? Now you're off and running. So in that 30 days, it's so imperative that you just get with that professional first. That's where all the value is. The value is in the knowledge getting you ready versus meeting you the day you are ready.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about talking to the bank?
Sure.
Should I?
This,
You said call a realtor. I'm always like, anytime you call a realtor, call the bank.
Yeah,
I always think about it.
More on the buy side, truthfully. But the one thing that I always mention to people, and it actually pertains when we're going through the net sheet, is talk to your CPA. Right, your CPA is very powerful in this situation. What you're often going to find, you know, is most people are selling their primary residence. Right, we talked about it last podcast. But a married person can write off up to a $500,000 capital gain, a single person up to $250,000 capital gain, as long as it's your primary residence within those 2 years. Where things get a little more tricky is if it's your second home, if it's an investment property, if it's a Airbnb, right, all those things. So now you can take that net sheet that I gave you, can take it to your CPA, hand it, you know, and now they can calculate it. Hey, your taxes are going to be this, right? Hey, you know, it says 100 coming back to you. It's only 70, right? So I would say more than the bank, you probably want some type of financial resource like that. If you need a great CPA, I mean, just, you know, find us on online. I have one of the best for sure.
Don't want Uncle Sam chasing you.
No.
Do not.
Yep.
No, it's fun. People are like getting drafted, and they're like, "At least he's not here for taxes." What should I? So other than do it sooner than 30 days, what should I not do? What are some bad things to do if I'm going to try and sell my house? You start there.
Definitely don't improve things, spend money on menial things that are not going to bring value back to you on your sale.
Like, what are some of those improvements that you just are going to dump money in that aren't going to help?
I mean, if you have some dirt on your carpet and you think new carpet's going to change the
10
price
G's,
of your house.
value went up.
You know, you think you don't like your countertops and you want prettier countertops. Anything that's taste based. You know, there's no way to know who's buying your house. Most likely they're going to change it to their taste. It could look great to you.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, you know, like I tell my clients, if there's a spot that looks horrible and needs to be painted over, okay, but don't repaint the whole house.
Sure.
You know, spend $10,000 on a paint job. You know, like it's not going to bring value.
I think what sellers, and, you know, back to some of the hard conversations, right, is just that. And that's why you want to have a realtor out prior to actually wanting to list your home, because a good one is going to, again, consultatively, even if you're, you know, adamant about putting marble sinks in, right? Like, you know, they're going to be able to gauge that. And the real truth in most sellers, especially if you've bought a home in the last decade, is every seller is so flush with just natural equity. Equity. I always tell my clients, you're putting that on the line. You have a pile of cash just sitting in that home because it's appreciated, right? Now what you're doing is you're risking it. You're risking it by improving it. I flip houses, right? I've done that for a really long time. I've went into some houses that they flipped and it's like, this is a disaster. So now what you might do is take this chunk of money, I mean, a very generally a large sum, and dwindled it away. You know, because just like Randy said, most people are going to put their touches on it. So most sellers that I sit down with, and it's been a long time since I've had to tell someone to improve their home, take the equity and run. You want to do as little as possible, and after building a lot of stuff, pull that string, you don't know what you're going to get. You know, open up these 1940, 1920 homes. Whoo,
Yeah.
You might lose all your money.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite house you've ever sold?
That's a good question.
Yeah, whoever gets it first.
Wow.
I
don't
think
know.
for me,
Material
and I won't name them on here. I've made some great friends with people who were going through divorces, that were going through hard times, that hated me in the beginning, right? And the reason they hated me, I knew it wasn't me. It was the situation, right? And then a lot of agents, right? We deal with them, right? We had to, move on from some people that couldn't, right? Like they get emotional about it. They take it personal rather than being empathetic. And then when that all diffuses, right? And you've helped them through this problem. You've helped them through one of their toughest times in their life. The connection, right? So I don't want to. There's a few folks that fit that bill. That's the most satisfying for me. You're taking this kind of crappy situation, taking that stress off them, giving them someone in their life, even though it's a small component, right, of real estate. Just giving them that comfort, knowing that someone's got them, someone's looking out for their best interest. I've got quite a few friends from that, and those seem to be the best. As far as houses,
But did any of them have like a helipad or a sauna or something? I'm teasing.
they didn't.
I don't think Dan was going on the
Yeah,
relationship
but for
side
me,
of that.
that's what I mean, dude. I look, I built them, and I've already talked about this. I don't like houses. Like I said, me and my kids live in my frat house and are shooting balls off of TVs. And you think I'm going to buy
I sold one last year in my neighborhood that I was pretty proud of, that I liked a lot. It was just a bungalow. But it was a $400,000 bungalow because of the lot it had. And it had a really dope garage. And it had a 210-foot deep lot that went out to another went out to Ellen. It was on Royal.
Yeah.
And that was a cool listing to get in my neighborhood, hot listing.
Yeah.
In a pretty competitive neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then they bought on the street, so it was like a double sale
Sure.
in my own neighborhood. I like that one. That was
Yeah.
probably my favorite one of last year, at least.
Pretty nice. Sounds
Yeah.
like a good place.
Yeah,
Next
no
time-
helipad,
Next
unfortunately.
time, no, that's okay. Next time you list that property like that, hit me up for friend prices, and we'll talk. We'll
you go.
talk.
Everything
Yeah.
is negotiable.
Friend prices were not a part of that negotiation. I can promise you that.
Awesome.
Yeah, they got a nice chunk for that place,
Yeah.
for sure.
Good for them. Good for you
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Good for us.
Good for everybody.
Hey guys,
Win.
we did.
Good
Win.
for America.
Good for us. Good for America. I think that we're doing a good job right now. And thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.